DDA line drawing algorithm drawbacks. So in the previous slides or previous videos, we have seen how the DDA line drawing algorithm works. So now let us see what are the drawbacks of DDA line drawing algorithm. So here there are few points here. DDA is the simplest line drawing algorithm. So if you compare with the other algorithms of line drawing, DDA is the simplest line drawing algorithm. But even if it is simplest, it is not very efficient, because you have seen that while you have gone across the algorithm, DDA algorithm, you had certain calculations, that is like calculating the slope delta y divided by delta x, and you had to calculate x increment. X increment was equal to delta x divided by steps, is it? So when these particular calculations were done, that is certain fractions were done, so you had got certain floating point value. So this every kind, that is when you are calculating x increment or y increment, it resulted in floating point values. So what you have done to round off that particular floating point values, you had used round function there, is it? So this is but round operation, whatever you perform there, is expensive, because it is taking lot of time there to compute or to do the round operation. So here optimized algorithms typically used integer DDA. For example, you have one more algorithm called Bresenham's algorithm. So next we will see what is Bresenham's algorithm, and here actually the fraction calculations are not present. Okay, so even if it is there, the floating point values you don't get here. Okay, everything will be doing in terms of integers. Okay, so that the round function will not be there in Bresenham's algorithm. Okay, so this is the optimized algorithm. So this is also the Bresenham's algorithm is also a line drawing algorithm. Okay, and you can say it is an optimized line drawing algorithm. So let's see what is algorithm has. It has an incremental algorithm. So it's an incremental algorithm. Why? Because the current value uses previous value. So we'll see how that algorithm works, and you can see that whenever the calculations are being done to draw any line, okay, so you might be using it. So suppose if you want to calculate the next value of x or next value of y, you might be using the previous values also, previous xy values. So this is called incremental algorithm. And what about the integers only? That means you are avoiding floating point arithmetic in this algorithm, that is Bresenham's algorithm. So we say it is using only integers in that case. Okay, so actually calculation of particular floating point values will take more time. So that is one of the drawback of previous algorithm whatever we have studied, that is DDA algorithm. Bresenham's line drawing algorithm. So compared to the previous algorithm, that is DDA algorithm, this algorithm is more accurate and efficient. And also Bresenham's line algorithm uses only incremental integer calculations, and it avoids all the floating point calculations. So if you see, if you want to plot the pixel on the screen, okay, you are going to plot the integer values on the screen, okay, directly. There won't be any floating point calculations in the algorithm. So as you know, what is a line equation? So any line, suppose I consider here a line. What is a line equation for this? Okay, line equation is given by y is equal to mx plus b. Okay, so given any value of x, you can, and given a value of slope m. Okay, m stands for slope. Plus b. So b is the intercept we say. Okay, so here a particular line is given, the line equation is given by y is equal to mx plus b, and what is m? Slope. If you are saying it is delta y divided by delta x, slope is given by delta y divided by delta x. So let us see how it looks in the diagram. Okay, so given a line with endpoints, so a line segment, if you are saying, it is given with endpoints x0 and y0. I say here the one endpoint is x0 and y0 and the other endpoint is x1 and y1. So line equation is y is equal to mx plus b. So what is m? M is difference in y divided by difference in x. So this is already, you know, in DDA algorithms also you have the same equation. Okay, to find slope m, you are going to calculate m is equal to delta y divided by delta x. So that is about slope, or you can say m is equal to delta y divided by delta x. So if you are saying how in the line drawing algorithm we had certain calculations also, and here if you are seeing the particular line segment intercepts at a point on the y-axis. Okay, that point is what is called B. Okay, that is intercept we say B. And here line equation, so depending on the theta value, you have here a theta. Okay, there is angle existing between this dx and the opposite here adjacent side, you can see. Okay, so here actually if you are saying tan theta is equal to delta y divided by delta x, opposite side divided by adjacent side. So here when suppose m is equal to 1, when m will be equal to 1, when delta y divided by delta x, okay, both differences if you are going to calculate here, if you get it is equal to 1, then you can say that the line will be exactly having the theta value with 45 degree. Okay, so that is slope is m is equal to 1. Okay, so another thing here is the difference delta y and delta x will be equal here. And when m is less than, the slope is greater than 1. When slope will be greater than 1, okay, you have one is slope when m is less than 1, m is greater than 1, sorry, here, say here. M is greater than 1 means delta y will be more, so that time m will be greater than 1. And suppose delta x is more, then m will be less than 1. So this is the three cases you have. Okay, so understand that. See, suppose x increments more in more number, then delta x will be more. Is it here? Delta x value will be more than delta y. And here what happens here? Delta y will be more. Okay, so that is difference in y is more, then slope value m will be greater than 1. Okay, so this is about the particular slope equation you have that see here m, the three conditions you have already learned. M is equal to 1, m less than 1, m greater than 1. Okay, so here you have all the points in world coordinates we say. Okay, now the world coordinates you have to convert it into raster form. So whenever you display the particular points on the screen or any line on the screen, we are representing in the line in the form of pixels. So now the world coordinates are being converted to the raster form. Okay, so now you are representing here, uh, maybe you say 2 comma 3, your pixel position 2 comma 3. Okay, so if you start from 0 1 2, okay, like this, 0 1 2 3. Okay, now you are plotting a particular position. Okay, 2 comma 3 means you may be plotting the pixel on this particular position like this. Okay, so this is happens in any line drawing algorithm. All the world coordinates, whatever you represent, will be converted to screen coordinates, or you say here all world coordinates or the vectors, whatever you represent here. Okay, so y is equal to mx plus b. Something you represent in vector form, all will be converted to raster. Okay, so you may be doing sampling for x values, okay, or y values also. So that's all calculation part. So let us see the algorithm. So here, now we want to represent all the vector form in the raster system. So here, suppose you have a line segment, you want to draw a line segment which moves through the different pixels here. Now the thing is, think that this is one endpoint, x0, y0. The other point is somewhere there, okay, x1, y1, you see. And now the middle pixels has to be also represented. So whenever the algorithm starts, initially one starting point, you say x0, y0 will be represented on the screen, or the pixel will be represented initially. But what about the next pixels? How it is going to draw? Okay, so that's decided by the algorithm, based on the algorithm. So here the thing is, suppose 10 11 is drawn already, and the next position, the line is going, see here, the line how it goes is, it's uh, going between 11 and 12. You can say one portion of the line, it's taking the 11 position, 11 position, and the next portion of the line is taking 11 12. So now the thing is, which pixel to take. Okay, so whether to take this as the next pixel on the screen or this pixel on the screen, so that is decided by the algorithm. Okay, so this decision, there will be a decision point or a decision variable to represent the pixel on the right position, whether to represent it below or above. Okay, Bresenen's line drawing algorithm. Suppose if you are going to go for illustrating this particular Bresenen's approach, we consider the scan conversion process for the lines with positive slope less than 1.0. So in this particular algorithm, the thing is, we are considering slope that is less than 1 or 1.0. Okay, when slope will be less than 1? When the difference in x is more than difference in y. Okay, difference in y. So if I are seeing the slope, difference in x is more and difference in y is less, so then m will be less than 1. So in that case, how you can select the pixel position, that we are going to see. It is a scan conversion process. That means the vector form is being converted to the raster form. So now we want to plot the pixels on the screen. So how it happens, let us see. For the pixel position, see here, if you are seeing, what you have to do is here, starting from the left end point, that is x0 and y0. Okay, starting from the left end point is x0 and y0 of the given line. We step to each successive columns, and and plot the pixel whose scan line y value is closest to the line path. So here the thing is, you have already drew a line. You know the line here. Okay, the line endpoints you know, but what about the pixels between that? You have to get it from the algorithm. Okay, the decision will be taken by the algorithm to which pixel to be represented for representing the line. So here the first initial endpoint is given here, that is x0 y0. The other endpoint is also given, but it's not shown in the figure. Okay, maybe x1 y1 I say. So now each unit here represents xk, and if you are incrementing on the x-axis, it is xk plus 1, xk plus 2, xk plus 3, and similarly along the y-axis you have each unit as yk, yk plus 1, yk plus 2, yk plus 3. So for the pixel position, xk plus 1, that is equal to xk plus 1, or you can represent it both ways. Okay, which one we should choose? Whether to choose, so you know the pixel position, that is xk plus 1 is equal to xk plus 1. So that means here the initial pixel position already you know here, but now you want to plot another pixel on to represent the line. Okay, so whether to represent this pixel, that is xk plus 1, so what is the position of how do you represent the position of this pixel? It is xk plus 1 comma yk, or xk plus 1 comma yk plus 1. So whether to represent this or this. So this decision has to be taken now. So this I represent all this, maybe you always you represent 0, 1, 2, 3. But for the formula, to get the formula, we represent, or you say the scan conversion is being done, and I represent all the values with xk, xk plus 1. Okay, only that is the difference. So let us see how it works. Now let us see Bresenham's approach. So as you know, the line equation can be given as y is equal to mx plus b. Okay, so how we can arrange this equation for the Bresenham's approach? Let us see that. So the thing is, you have to consider the slope in this parallel approach. I am going to now consider slope value m that is less than 1. Okay, and the same line which were I have written for the previous slides, the same line we are going to consider. So that means the xk yk position, you had one pixel, so that is already drew. Okay, now the thing is, what about next pixel? That we have to decide. So to decide that, now we have divided the particular pixel positions into different quadrants, you can say here. Okay, so you have, I'm going to divide it now. So already you already drew xk plus 1, sorry, xk position, that is already drew. Okay, and between yk and yk plus 1 you have a position y. Okay, so on the line you want to decide now whether to represent the pixel this side or this side. Okay, the lower portion or upper portion. But I am going to write the equation for the line now. Okay, what is the equation that is given by y is equal to slope m into what is the position, corresponding position. Okay, that is xk plus 1. Okay, xk plus 1 plus b. Okay, y is the position on the, what is the position here of y pixel, that is y. Okay, so here this is the initial line equation, and here you have got a difference here. That means if you have divided here, there is a difference in the upper portion. Okay, and here you have a gap, is it? That is called d lower. So what is d lower? D lower is given by y minus yk, that is equal to, suppose if you substitute this y, we get m into xk plus 1 plus b minus yk. And what is the above position, upper portion? Okay, so upper portion is given by yk plus 1 minus y. Okay, yk plus 1 minus y. So that is, again you substitute what about y. Okay, the same equation, the previous equation is being applied, but this remains same, yk plus 1 minus m into xk plus 1 minus b. Now you calculate the position of the pixel on this, or the point that is on the line. Okay, so what about this position? How do you get that? So that is given by d lower minus d upper. Okay, d lower, because this is more, d lower is more, so that's why we calculate this way. If suppose d upper was more, then we would have rearranged the formula as upper minus d lower. Okay, since the slope is less than 1.0, we have this equation. Okay, remember that. So that is d lower minus d upper. So that is given by 2 into, so you rearrange the formula and get the equation as 2m into xk plus 1 minus 2k plus 2b minus 1. Okay, so apply m as, in the next step, apply m. What is m? Delta y divided by delta x. So same thing, if you are applying and get the equation, you get a decision parameter. You can take it as pk. Okay, it is represented by pk. Pk is equal to delta x into d lower minus d upper. So that is equal to 2 delta y into xk minus 2 delta x into yk plus c. So depending on the decision parameter pk value, you are going to decide whether to plot the pixel on the lower quadrant or the upper. Okay, or you can say the lower pixel or upper pixel has to be, it's decided by the value pk. So what about the decision parameter? Decision parameter formula is given by pk is equal to delta x d lower minus d upper. So that is equal to 2 delta y into xk minus 2 delta x into yk plus c. So c is the constant here. So main thing is the constant value does not make change any for the decision parameter, but the thing is main concentration you have to do on this particular values, because your delta y and delta x values will be changing the values of pk. So that's why this is the main value you want to concentrate here. Okay, so c is actually, what is c? C is equal to 2 delta y plus 2 delta x 2b minus 1. Okay, so that is a constant. So here what you are going to do is, so pk has the same sign with the d lower minus d upper, since delta x is greater than 0. So we have considered slope less than 1. So that's why you get delta x that is greater than 0. So that's why we have rearranged in this manner. So d lower comes first, then you have negative sign for d upper. So here, if suppose, so based on this formula we have got, we are going to decide now. So if d lower is less than d upper, then pk is negative. Okay, that is decision parameter value will be a negative. Okay, that means the slope is inclining towards x axis. So that's why d lower here in that particular example, the previous example you have taken now here. So that is d here, in this case d lower is less than d upper. So then pk is negative. So what you have to do, plot the lower pixel. So decision is here, when pk is negative, you are going to plot the lower pixel. suppose D lower is greater than D upper. So that if that is the case, okay, you have to plot the upper pixel. So that is you have in the raster screen, you may be plotting in the northeast. Okay. So remember that the PK, depending on the PK value, you are going to decide whether to pick the pixel has to be represented in the lower side or upper side. Okay. At step k plus 1, the decision parameter is evaluated as pk plus 1 is equal to 2 delta y into xk plus 1 minus 2 delta x into yk plus 1 plus c. So c is a constant here. So this is the formula. So previous formula, how it was, that is pk was actually equal to 2 delta y into xk minus 2 delta x into yk plus c. So what you have to do changes is wherever you have xk, you write it as xk plus 1. Only that changes you have here. So the same formula it is, the previous decision formula or decision parameter formula you have, no, pk. The same thing it is, but just we have changed k plus 1 here. Okay, k to k plus 1 we have changed. Just everything is same. Now what you have to do, you have to subtract two subsequent decision parameter. So that means the previous decision parameter was pk and the next decision parameter is pk plus 1. So now I am going to subtract both of this. So that is pk plus 1 minus pk, that is equal to 2 delta y into xk plus 1 minus xk minus 2 delta x into yk plus 1 minus yk. So this is after you get subtracted after subtraction of two decision parameters. What about this xk plus 1? So you can write xk plus 1 as, that is the next pixel position on x-axis you are saying, right? So that is xk plus 1 is equal to xk plus 1. Okay, so if you substitute this thing in this particular formula, the xk and minus xk value that gets cancelled and you get the value as pk plus 1 is equal to pk, that is we have brought this pk this side, okay, pk plus 2 delta y, the same thing. And so here the thing is it remains with 1, so that's why we are not showing it here. Okay, it is actually 2 delta y into 1, it becomes 2 delta y into 1. So minus 2 delta x into yk plus 1 minus yk. So this is the formula you are going to get. Okay, so yk plus 1 minus yk is it can be either 0 or 1, okay, depending on the sign of pk. So what about the first parameter? So till now you have talked about the decision parameters pk and pk plus 1. So recursively the calculations will go on for the decision parameters, and it's performed on each integer x positions starting at the left coordinate endpoint of the line. The first parameter p naught is evaluated from the previous equation, that is you have pk you had, no, what was the decision parameter, by the same formula you are now going to take what is the value for p naught. Okay, apply m is equal to delta y divided by delta x in pk formula and write what is p naught. Okay, you will be getting the equation as p naught is equal to 2 delta y minus delta x. So summarizing the Bresenham's line algorithm, let us see how it works. Here line algorithm we have taken for m less than 1, that is slope less than 1. Input, what you have to do initially, input the two line endpoints and store the left endpoint in x0 and y0. Okay, so that means the leftmost endpoint, suppose if you are going to draw the line segment you will be having two endpoints for a line segment. Okay, so which is the left endpoint for here? Okay, that is taken as x0 and y0. Okay, leftmost endpoint is considered as x0, y0. Load x0, y0 into the frame buffer. That is what you have to do. Plot the first point. Plot the initial point x0, y0. So other end may be different. Okay, but what you have to do first, you have to plot the initial position. Okay, calculate the constants delta x, delta y, 2 delta y and 2 delta y minus 2 delta x. So this calculation, and obtain the starting value for the decision parameter as p naught is equal to 2 delta y minus delta x. So now you have the decision parameter formula, that is p naught is equal to 2 delta y minus delta x, same formula, and get the p naught value. At each xk along the line starting at k is equal to 0, perform the following test. So what you have to do, based on the decision parameter, now we have to do certain calculations. So if pk is less than 0, okay, now you are going to perform increment k values and get the values there. So if pk is less than 0, the next point is plotted, that is xk plus 1 comma yk, and again the pk value will be changed to pk plus 1 is equal to pk plus 2 delta y. So this 2 delta y we already have calculated here earlier. It becomes the same values will be taken for the next calculations. So here, otherwise what you have to do, the next point plot the values to xk, that is xk plus 1 comma yk plus 1, and change the decision parameter value as pk plus 1 is equal to pk plus 2 delta y minus 2 delta x. So this is again this this value, that is 2 delta y minus 2 delta x value also will be already calculated in the initial part of your calculation. Okay, so only change the values that is going to change is pk value. Only pk values will be changed, and you are going to go on doing the calculations later. Okay, repeat the steps. Step number 4 till delta x minus 1 times. Okay, so this is about Bresenen's algorithm. Okay, to illustrate the Bresenen's line algorithm, we are going to consider one example, that is with endpoints 20, 10 and 30, 18. So let us see how to calculate delta x. Delta x is the difference in x coordinates. So that is 30 minus 20, you get 10. Okay, and delta y is difference in y coordinates, that is 18 minus 10 is equal to 8. So you have a decision parameter formula, that is p naught is equal to 2 delta y minus delta x. Okay, so write this formula and calculate what is 2 delta y. 2 delta y is 8 into 2, that is 16. Okay, and minus delta x is 10. So 16 minus 10 you get 6. Okay, so after this, for the later calculations we need one more formula, that is 2 delta y. What is 2 delta y? That is 2 into you have y as 8, 2 into 8, that is 16 you get, and 2 delta y minus 2 delta x. So that is equal to you have 2 delta y as 16 into 2 minus 2 into delta x, that is 2 into 10, you get minus 4. So this is for the later calculation. So this part is for the later calculations in your problem, but first initial decision point is p naught. Okay, so let us plot the initial position on the screen as 20, 10. So let us start doing the problem using algorithm. So we have already plotted 20, 10. Now we have to calculate the next xy positions. So what is k? Okay, K is the number of steps you have here. So K is equal to initially 0. We have not started at the problem. So K is equal to 0 and the decision parameter Pk is equal to 6. Already we got the decision parameter now. So now depending on this Pk value, okay, we are going to decide whether to increment x xy value or only to increment x. Okay, so the two things you have. So when P is negative, okay, or Pk is negative, okay, you are going to increment only xk plus 1. Okay, you are going to do only x position you will be incrementing, and if suppose Pk is greater than 1 or Pk is positive, we are going to increment both x value and y value. Okay, so that is you have to keep in the mind. So now the decision parameter we got it as Pk as greater than 1, or you can say here it is positive. Okay, 6 is positive number. So what you have to do immediately, you have to increment both x value and y value. So what was the previous x and y value? It was 20, 10. So increment by 1 here 20 and 10 plus 1 you get 11. Okay, so 21, 11 you get. Now, so after this step, so you got based on the decision parameter now. So what you have to do, you have to now again check the decision parameter. So again it is positive. Now increment k has got k is equal to 1 and uh, uh, so what you are going to do is here again Pk value you just see you get Pk value is positive. So what you have to do, so immediately after calculating say that you after calculating the x and y position, what you have to do is the newer Pk value has to be calculated, so that you have to keep in mind. So here if you are seeing initially uh, what is so what is, let me change the color here. So you have Pk plus 1. Now we are going to calculate Pk plus 1. So that is equal to you have Pk value that is 6. Okay, Pk value as 6. 6 plus 2 into delta y. So 2 into 8, that is 16. Okay, 16 minus 2 into delta y, that is 2 into 10, that is 20. Okay, so initially what you get here is it is 2, value 2. Okay, so this is a calculation we are going to do after incrementing x and y values. So now Pk value has been changed to 2. So that same thing, that same Pk value I am going to write here the next step. Okay, again Pk is greater than 1, is it, or it is positive, you can say. So what you have to do, increment x and y value. So 21 plus 1 and 11 plus 1 you get 22, 12. Okay, now again you have to change the numbers. You have to calculate again the Pk value. So now let me take what is the formula, that is Pk. So Pk value is 2. You have 2 delta y minus 2 delta x is minus 4. Is it? Minus 4. So you get it as minus 2. Is it? So this value, okay, this value you are going to take as the next decision parameter. So increment k by 2, k by 1. Okay, so you get a test 2 and you have written a decision parameter and it is -2 now. So since here it is negative, you are going to increment only the x value. See that, see 22 is changed to 23, y value keep it as it is. And next formula, next thing is now you have pk as negative. Calculate the pk is negative. What you have to do when pk is negative? You have to increment only this is done. Okay, we are going to increment only x value. Now we have calculated a newer pk value, that is 14. Okay, 14 you have going to calculate, so 14 is positive, so increment both x and y values, that is 24, 13. And next what you have to do, pk is positive again, so since pk is positive, again increment x and y value. Again see the parameter pk is 6, so it is positive, so increment both x and y value. Okay, when pk is positive, that is 2, incremented both x and y value. When pk is negative, that is -2, you are incrementing only x value. Okay, that is 28, 16 you kept. Again pk is positive, then increment both x and y value. If pk is positive, you are going to increment only x and y value. So up to where you are going to do? You are doing this particular steps up to delta x minus 1. What is delta x? Delta x is 10. 10 minus 9. So this is the 9th step it is. So we are going to stop here. You got the point here. The end point is 30, 18. So we have reached the end point also using this algorithm. So now let us see how to plot this on the screen. So initial point is already we know we have plotted, it is 20, 10, x position 10, 20 and y position it is 10. So plot that is already plotted. So based on the algorithm we got newer values here. So let us plot that. That is 21, 11, 21, 11th position and 22, 12 like this. Okay, 24, 13, 24, 13, okay, and 25, 14. So like this, go on plotting the values. So since you got all integer values in Bresenham's algorithm, there is no need of going for round function. This round function will be eliminated in this particular algorithm. So this is the advantage of Bresenham's algorithm. So now let us see the pseudocode of the algorithm. Bresenham's line algorithm procedure for slope m less than 1.0, okay, or m less than 1. Okay, so void line Bresenham line algorithm with the initial values x0, y0. So it's all integer values x0, y0 and x end, y end. So this is the last end point of the line segment. And we have int dx, so we are going to calculate delta x, that is absolute of x n minus x0, and delta y is absolute value of y n minus y0. Int x comma y, so this is the position values you're having. Okay, take the values x and y position value. X and y variable, and p is equal to this is a decision parameter, initial decision parameter p0 we are going to calculate this. We have a formula p0 is equal to 2 delta y minus delta x. So that same thing you are going to write. And next we are going to declare int 2 delta y. Okay, so you need to calculate 2 delta y Okay, so how do you calculate 2 delta y? That is 2 into delta y. Okay, and how do you write for this? 2 dy minus dx. Okay, so this can be elaborated as 2 into dy minus dx. Okay, this is a formula we have there. For later calculations we might be using this thing. Okay, determine which endpoint to use as a start position. So you have to determine it. So based on x naught, y naught, you will be getting the initial start positions to plot. And if x naught is greater than xn, okay, x naught is greater than xn, x naught, the previous value, that is x naught is greater than xn. Suppose what you have to do, take x is equal to xn and y is equal to yn. Xn is equal to x naught, or else what you have to do, or else initialize x naught to x and y naught to y. Okay, this is directly we are going to do. That means what they are saying, suppose uh, your equation, you have got two endpoints. They said that to take the leftmost endpoint. Okay, suppose the value of this is great, not smaller, it's greater, means greater than the other end, means then you have to interchange it. So that is what they are going to do here. Okay, suppose if x naught is greater than x end. Okay, you have x naught here and x end at the other end, is it? So this is the thing, if x naught is greater than x end, if this is the case, then x end you have to initialize to x and y end initialize to y, and x naught you have to initialize to x end. Okay, or else x is equal to x naught and y is equal to y naught. So this is a normal procedure. And then what you have to do, set x pixel x comma y. While x is less than xn, what you have to do, you have to increment x value. Okay, increment x value, and if p is less than 0, that is decision parameter is negative, you say. Okay, what you have to do, you are going to write it as pk plus 1 is equal to pk plus 2 delta y. So that same formula we have written here. Okay, and or else if pk that is pk value, decision parameter, is positive, then what you have to do, increment both x value and y value. Okay, so already this will be done, incrementation will be already done here. Okay, inside the loop we are going to just increment y value. Okay, only if p is positive. Then what you have to do, you have to, that is pk plus 1 is equal to pk plus 2 delta y minus 2 delta x. So that formula, and then you have to eliminate the pixel xy position on the screen. So this continues until the steps. Okay, till what steps it is, delta x minus 1 time.